This is the E46 K24 powered turbo drift car build. I have no idea where we left off last time, so it's been a long time since I've done anything to this. So there might be some jumping, skipping, and you'll see that we're in a new garage now. Finally got everything together so I can start working on it. Today we're gonna hopefully get some motor mounts done. As you can see down here, I've already started to do some templating, just kind of dicking around here and there, and I'm hoping to actually make that a real thing today. So we'll try that. We might get around to some of the oil pump dry sump stuff. I have to actually move this bracket, so I just got some bits in for the mill, and maybe we can move it and make it work. I was waiting for some bolts to attach this plate to the motor, because I just needed to get some other style bolts, and luckily Amanda and I created this little nut and bolt dealie over here, so now we have plenty to choose from. So yeah, we're gonna get to it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this pipe here, because I'm going to make all of these out of the sheet stock, and then after I do that, I'm gonna put this down on here, weld that all together, and drill a hole for the motor mount, and then I'll tack it all together, see how it mounts up, and then we'll go from there. But ultimately I think this is going to be relatively strong, so I'll cut this first and then cut the bottom plate, kind of see how everything goes together with this all bolted in as well, so we know this is in the right spot. So I'll probably put those bolts in first, and then we'll get everything started to go. Found some nice 1/8" floor metal. It was right there, piled under a bunch of shit. So we're gonna use that for this motor mount. Hopefully I can get this cleaned up pretty good, should be no problem. But these are about perfect size for this. I'm hoping I should be able to get all three. I think I might be just short, but we'll try it out. Now that we're over at the digit removal tool, I'm going to attempt to try to cut straight lines here with my homemade plate, and also super crooked blade. So yeah, we'll attempt to do that. I got my sweet on-off switch over here. Biggest issue with this tool is that the throat is not deep enough, so I'm going to have to come over from the other side, but that's just what happens when you got ghetto stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna cut all this out first, and then I'm gonna probably cut it like that, and then I'll round it over with I'll make it a little bigger too, but I'll round it over with the grinder, and then I'll drill the hole in there.
That was actually decently accurate. Not much more to do on the grinder.
A little bit more, yep. Yeah, I probably don't even need to do that much, because that's pretty square in there. Probably take down a little bit. And I guess we'll try to throw it on the, car, see if this hole is roughly in the right spot. And then if we drill it out, then we can center this piece here, and then make sure these two pieces are actually going to line up properly. Oops, which I think they will. That's about how it should go. Oh, interesting, I didn't notice that. This might be 3/16. I don't really care that much. It doesn't really matter. I actually think that's like pretty much right on. Get a little bit of movement here. So it's actually probably once this comes down, this will actually move that way. The hole will, because this will get longer. Okay, I'm gonna drill the hole for the motor mount. I have no idea how a Bridgeport works. It literally just took me a half hour trying to figure it out with all the chucks we got, how to attach it, get inside here. I've literally never used one. This is not attached, but it's heavy enough, I think, where when we go through this, shit shouldn't start flinging around. Who knows? I might lose a finger, eyeball, whatever. We'll figure it out when the time comes. So far, not very exciting, which is good. I think this bit is just wasted. Because it's just not happy.
Do you need oil?
No, I think it just, like, the bit is real bad, so it's just not doing anything. Oh. Wait a second. I think it's because we were going backwards. Alright, let's try it again. Oh, yeah, baby! See, I have no idea what I'm doing. Right. Now we might need oil. This is a lot less scary than the other drill press, though. The other one moves way too fast. Yeah, it doesn't matter, it's just because the blade's wasted. There it goes. That's kind of scary, but it'll be alright. Okay. Sure. Nice. I might have to put a little bend in this, because it doesn't sit perfectly flat on here. Unless I go down a little further, and down a little further is pretty close to flat. I mean, this whole thing would bend if I needed it to. I'll put a little bend on it, like, I guess I gotta, like, right here, probably. How much space do we have between the bottom of the plate and the bolt there? Is it going to be easy to get a...
Almost nothing.
Almost nothing?
Yeah.
Oh. No, you can get
Oh, you're talking about this?
This one.
Oh. There is... Yeah, you can get a wrench on that.
Okay. Yeah, because, I mean, that looks pretty much flat right there.
Yeah, that's completely flat. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yep.
So, yeah, you can get a wrench on that for sure, or a socket.
So I'm going to actually tighten this all the way down. to make sure it's in the absolute right spot. We'll do the safety squints since we're only doing tackies in here. Ow! Just gotta remember. That one's way off. Is it because it was this side? Nope. That one's really close. Okay. We'll have to do a little bit of trimming on that bad Larry over there. So yeah, I think what we'll do is, maybe I had that on the outside. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I'll have to do a little trimming on that side too. The angle is a little off. This is a little too steep. So I'm thinking we'll actually get the round piece tacked in there, and then we'll see where these end up, because they might end up actually like just on the outside of these. This is probably way overkill, but I don't know. I think I'd rather it just be super stout and not worry about it. Getting the nut in there is probably going to be difficult, but...
Excuse me, extension, yeah?
Well, it might fall down in there.
Oh.
But we'll see. We'll see how it looks once I put the side pieces on. So these can both get cut probably a little shorter. Oops. Yeah, so I think I'm going to tack this right where it needs to be right now. And then we'll see where these need to end up. Perfect. Alright, cool. And then, yeah, I'll take these, I'll get them all lined up. This one is a little kicked out because this is a little farther forward than we originally had anticipated it to be. But, so I'll cut it down a little bit. We'll cut this side as well for it. And then we'll get it all tacked in. I think we're going to try and center this on here. I know that's not a straight line, but I'll put a straight edge on it. And then this one, I think we got to take a little bit off this edge. I don't even know if you can see in there, but down at the bottom there, we're actually way off. So I'm gonna try and use the marker to give us a straight edge. Yep. So. Need to take a little bit off the top, as you can see. So we'll take that off. We'll take this off, get it in there. Alright, let's see how much closer we are. There we go. That looks nice. That also looks pretty good. Way too far away. Oop, balls. Watch your fingies. Every inch counts, right, ladies? Nice. Look directly at that, like it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, that's great. Get the bottom on that? Yeah, sure. Is it all kind of connected now? Yeah. Got the nice blue, that nice blue dot, you know, that tells you you're still alive. Alright, so yeah, this should be good. I got some decent tacks on there. I'll probably do a couple more tacks so the whole thing doesn't warp. Probably do some on the inside. I mean, it should be pretty good. I'll probably do one down on the corner here, and then I'll probably send it all the way through the bottom on the inside on here. And yeah, I'll do the outside. I don't know if I'm going to do the outside here. I don't think it's really necessary, but I don't know. Somebody will tell me I need to. It's definitely really heavy, but I mean, it will never break, for sure. I'm guessing it probably weighs 2 pounds. I mean, I'm not that worried about it. Most of the weight is going to be behind. I know weight is huge when it comes to racing, drifting, but I mean, if I start really getting weird about weight, then the monetary value of this will just, or the build will just go way out of proportion. So, yeah, I'm gonna weld it all up now. A little unhappy. Do have a lot of juju in the, oops, oh god. There we go. Might have to turn up the gas just a scooch. Alright, so you can see this boogery stuff here on the outside, and I definitely know how to weld. You can see on the bottom it came out a little better, and then I figured out that the piece that tightens the wire on the welder for some reason had gotten loose, so it was spotty. The speed was spotty, so it was doing weird stuff, which is why I got all that bird shit right there and all that right there. You can see real welds on the inside there. That's to prove that I actually kind of know what I'm doing. But I'm not really going to worry about this. I'm going to paint it. It's going to look ugly. I don't really care that much. For testing and for the next couple years to hopefully get the car ready for FD, this will suit just fine until I need to start looking pretty for all the big boys. So yeah, I got all the way around here around the inside and connected it to this weld, around the outside of that pipe connected it to that weld, and I got all the outside too. So I might do a bead on the inside over there and try to get one on the bottom as well, just to make sure it's all good. I might grind this one down here and make sure that I actually get a good penetrating weld on this, but we'll see how the one on the inside goes. Alright, so yeah, this looks like it might be a little warped, but I think we're alright. It might just be an illusion too, but we'll get it all clamped in there, see, but it looks pretty alright. I cleaned up some of the welds that I said I wasn't going to do, but once it gets painted, it'll actually look like a pretty good piece. I got some good welds in there, and then some I had to go over previous welds, but it's welded all the way around in the important spots, and we'll see if it fits now, and if it fits, then I'll paint it, and then we'll be done. So this is all painted up. Worked out really well, I think. It's definitely not the prettiest, but it'll definitely do its job. It's super heavy duty. I don't think it's going to go anywhere at all. So now I'm going to make a CAD template, cardboard aided design, and make something to come over here to these. This one's going to be a little bit more complicated because these are not flush with each other. I think these two might be on the same plane. This one here is inset a little bit, so I'm gonna have to do something funky with this motor mount, and then it's gonna have to kind of come up over the steering shaft. So I don't know, it's gonna kind of be shaped like this. So I'm gonna get this taken care of here, and then we'll kind of do a cardboard aided design to kind of come over like this and then meet this plate. So it's definitely gonna be a little funky. I probably could make something a little taller, but I'd like to keep the stock engine mounts on the K-frame side. to just make sure that I can use stock in the future, so I don't have to have double the amount of parts in order to make this work. This I can just order, you know, from a parts store or online. Alright, so check this out. This isn't going to be nearly as easy as the other side. So I think I was saying before that none of these mounting points on the block are in the same plane. This one here is 5 millimeters lower than this plane, and this one is 25 millimeters lower than that plane. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the plate, and then I might make some little standoffs, some, I don't know, we'll call them fancy standoffs. They'll probably be ugly. I'll do some fancy standoffs to get these into a level to this one here, and then we'll start making our our arched bracket somehow. So yeah, wish me luck. I mean, these ones are right on. These are like right in line with each other, so I think maybe what I'll do is see if we can make this hole bigger and then weld it and then flatten it out. It might not work, but so yeah, I think we might call it quits for today. I need to go out to my trailer and get some shims. I forgot I had these little shims here. They're for spacing like front end race car parts, stock car parts, sorry. So I think I actually may literally have the exact same shims that are exact same size shims that I need to shim this plate off here. I got this one nice and tight. This is probably exactly 1/4 inch or about 5 millimeter off of this mount under here, and this is probably almost 3/4 of an inch, maybe from here to here. So yeah, I think tomorrow I'll probably grab those, and then I can actually weld those shims to the back of here, and then they'll just kind of be little standoffs, and I think they're going to work great. And then I'll be able to put something here and then run it over to this. But I think we're good for today, so tomorrow we'll continue the video. Okay, so yeah, it was supposed to be the next day, but that was like 5 days ago. It was Saturday, it's now Thursday. So I went into the trailer and I found these little spacers that I think are going to work perfectly for shimming behind this plate. Bits, but these are going to work just fine as long as I can get them welded to the plate, which they should. So I'm going to do that next. Yeah, I did that on the wrong side. Oh yeah, that's for sure close enough. Okay, so what I'll do is, I'm going to weld this washer to here. I don't even care, as long as this doesn't interfere with anything. I'm just going to leave the washer as wide as it is. And then after I weld this to here, I'll pull the plate off, I'll weld this to the back side, and it should fit right on there. And then I can fully weld all of it, and then we can start working on our little stanchion here. Okay, it's super ugly right now, but we at least got our base plate good here, and I mean, it's not perfect, but it's really, really close. So I'm gonna cinch this down on all 3 corners and get it where it needs to be, and then we'll make our little stanchion here for the motor mount, and then we'll start connecting something over here over to this, and that should make it a little easier. And I'm hoping that it's not going to interfere with anything, but there's really not much that goes over here, so we should be alright. Alright, so we're gonna take this here, we're gonna cut this out, We're going to put it on the tube over there, drill a hole in this, weld it to the bottom of that, slide it on here, and then figure out exactly where our plate needs to go in order to attach this, and see how many dimensions we can get on here to make it so it's not going to move all around. Alright, so I think I'm going to run this as close as I can to here. I'll run like probably straight across. And so I'll probably cut it somewhere around here. So I got this together. Always say so. Why not start a sentence with so? Got this pretty much laid out the way I want. This is going to come across like that. I'm going to run a plate down probably as far down as I can go without interfering with the steering shaft. I'll leave some clearance. I might even ground like a little like keyway essentially for that. And then on the other side I'll do something very similar, and I'll kind of like run it as close as I can just to get as much structure on the opposite side. Alright, so after a lot of struggling, it took a while to get all these clearances right for the steering shaft. Spin it for you now so you see nothing interferes, which is great. I'm hoping that maybe it only comes down like a 1/16 or so once we actually let all the weight down on this motor mount. But worst case scenario, I can grind this out a little bit more, and same on the back side here. This is a pretty heavy duty mount. Like the other side, it's probably way overkill, but I'd rather it be way overkill than not. I'll clean all this up, get this a little rounded over, make it just look like a decent mount here, and I'll get the right hardware and clean it all up so it actually looks like the other side. But that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll weld that up, make it look pretty, and then we'll move on to other stuff. Yeah. Let's get at it. Doesn't look fantastic, but it is probably some of the best stuff that I have done, I think. It'll look really good once it's all painted up and I clean it up, get all these edges cleaned up over here. This side is it's looking alright. I wish I went a little slower there, a little hotter maybe. Oh, I need to hit that spot right there just a little bit. But I mean, overall, this thing is not gonna break. I'd be very surprised if it broke. So I'll go ahead and clean it up. I'll hit that, clean it up, and then we'll send her on in her home, and hopefully nothing warped and twisted. But I think she's good to go. So I just attempted to put this on, and for sure it just won't go on without me. Definitely won't go on without me having to pull this, loosen this up a little, get it on, tighten the bottom back up, and get it back in the spot. It's not happy about it, so I'll go ahead and loosen this up, and then we'll get this piece on, and we'll get it right up against the block, bolted down, and I think we're going to be mint. Oh yeah. I don't know why one of you wasn't letting me know I was being a moron and just get an extension for that instead of struggling like a mofo. Alright, I'm gonna see how much room we got before I pull the blocks out. Get a decent amount of room there. I mean, I know it looks real close, and it kind of is, but I mean that it makes it by. It's just that aluminum piece that's getting kind of close in there. Worst case, like I said before, I can just kind of notch it if I need to be back here. Looks like I might have more than 1/4 of an inch, so I should be alright. So let's wow, okay, that went down very, very little. I think the left side went down like I don't know, a 1/16 of an inch or so. You got plenty of room in there in order to make a pan. Getting the bolts on here is definitely going to be difficult. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah, I don't even think this side moved that much. Just a test to show, and also so I can see, because I mean, it'll be moving around quite a bit. But that's definitely all in the bushings, which will be nice for less vibration when I'm drifting, racing, whatever. The only thing is that, you know, it might make it a little close here, but I mean, I still don't think anything's gonna hit at all. Which is pretty exciting. Nice. So yeah, that's it for the motor mounts. I'm like really actually excited about those. I was a little worried it was going to be an absolute pain in the balls and I was going to struggle with it, but after Amanda and I kind of slowed down and took a look at it, we definitely found a good method. Just for me to feel a little better, I might bring this up around over there a little bit more after I get further with the car. I mean, I'm gonna end up taking some of this stuff out anyway, painting it, so that'll be good. But honestly, I'm pretty excited. Tomorrow I'm gonna start on moving this plate. I got a bunch of end mills that I ordered off eBay for cheap. They're probably going to be garbage, but they'll be able to cut aluminum no problem. And it'll be my second time really using a mill, but actually using it for the real deal instead of just drilling bolts out, or drilling holes out for bolts. So yeah, that's Race Signals Garage. We'll see you next time.